Across the vast expanse of human history, certain events have occurred that defy our understanding, challenge our scientific knowledge, and remind us that, despite all our technological advancement, there are still phenomena that exist beyond the reach of explanation. In the high desert of northern New Mexico, nestled among ancient mesas and sprawling landscapes, lies the small town of Taos. For decades, residents and visitors have reported hearing something that shouldn't exist, a persistent, low-frequency humming sound that seems to emanate from the very air itself. First documented in the 1990s, this mysterious hum affects only about 2% of the population in the area. Those who hear it describe a continuous droning noise, similar to a diesel engine idling in the distance, but no source can be identified. The sound is so pervasive that some residents have reported sleepless nights, headaches, and a constant sense of unease. Scientists have conducted extensive studies measuring electromagnetic frequencies, seismic activity, and acoustic properties of the region. They've ruled out industrial sources, military installations, and natural geological phenomena. Sensitive recording equipment has been deployed throughout the area, yet the hum remains undetectable to instruments, audible only to certain human ears. What makes the Taos hum particularly puzzling is its selectivity. Two people can stand side by side in the same location, and one will hear the persistent droning noise, while the other hears nothing but desert silence. The phenomenon has been reported in other locations worldwide, from Bristol, England to Bondi Beach, Australia, but Taos remains the most documented and studied case. Deep within Death Valley National Park, in a place called the Racetrack Playa, lies one of geology's most perplexing mysteries. Across this flat, dry lakebed, massive boulders, some weighing hundreds of pounds, have somehow moved across the desert floor, leaving perfectly straight trails behind them like the tracks of some invisible giant. For nearly a century, these sailing stones baffled scientists and visitors alike. The trails, some stretching for hundreds of yards, appear and disappear with no apparent pattern. Some rocks move in parallel lines, others zigzag randomly, and some remain stationary for decades before suddenly relocating overnight. Early theories ranged from underground magnetic fields to extraterrestrial intervention. The remote location, with its otherworldly landscape of cracked earth and scattered boulders, only added to the mystery's allure. Researchers installed GPS tracking devices on several stones and monitored them continuously, hoping to catch the phenomenon in action. In 2014, after years of observation, scientists finally witnessed the movement firsthand. The explanation, while scientifically sound, seems almost as improbable as the mystery itself. On rare occasions, when rain fills the playa, thin sheets of ice form during cold desert nights. As the sun rises, these ice sheets begin to break apart and are pushed by light winds across the water's surface. The moving ice, though only millimeters thick, exerts enough force to slowly push the massive stones across the slippery lake bed. Yet even with this explanation, questions remain. The precise conditions required are so specific and rare that the phenomenon occurs perhaps once every few years, making it nearly impossible to predict or observe consistently. In 1901, sponge divers working off the Greek island of Antikythera made a discovery that would challenge our understanding of ancient technology. Among the artifacts recovered from a 2,000-year-old Roman shipwreck was a corroded bronze object that initially appeared to be nothing more than a lump of metal and rock. Decades of careful study revealed the object to be far more extraordinary than anyone could have imagined. The Antikythera mechanism, as it came to be known, is an intricate system of bronze gears and dials, essentially an ancient analog computer designed to predict astronomical events with remarkable precision. The device could calculate the positions of the sun, moon, and known planets, predict eclipses decades in advance, and track the 4-year cycle of the Olympic Games. Its complexity rivals that of clockwork mechanisms not seen again until medieval European clockmakers began crafting similar devices more than 1,000 years later. What makes this discovery so mystifying is not just its advanced technology, but the complete absence of any similar artifacts from the ancient world. No contemporary sources describe such devices, no other examples have been found, and no clear technological progression leads to its creation. It stands alone in history, a single example of sophisticated mechanical engineering that appears to have emerged from nowhere and vanished without a trace. Recent advanced imaging techniques have revealed even more intricate details within the mechanism, including additional gear trains and inscriptions that suggest capabilities we're still discovering. The device represents a level of scientific and mathematical understanding that historians believed didn't exist in the ancient world, forcing us to reconsider what we know about the technological capabilities of our ancestors. On August 15, 1977, astronomer Jerry Emmon was reviewing data from the Big Ear radio telescope at Ohio State University when he noticed something extraordinary. Among the cosmic background noise, a strong, narrowband radio signal had been detected, one that appeared to originate from the constellation Sagittarius, near the center of our galaxy. The signal was so unusual and compelling that Emmons circled it on the computer printout and wrote "Wow" in the margin, giving the phenomenon its enduring name. The transmission lasted exactly 72 seconds, the maximum time the telescope's design allowed for observing any single point in the sky as Earth rotated. What made the WOW signal so intriguing was its characteristics. It was transmitted at 1420 megahertz, the frequency of hydrogen, the most abundant element in the universe, and a logical choice for interstellar communication. The signal's intensity was strong, its frequency precise, and its duration perfect for detection by our equipment. Despite decades of effort, the signal has never been detected again. The Big Ear telescope continued monitoring the same region of space for years, joined by other radio telescopes around the world, but the cosmos remained silent. No natural astronomical phenomenon has been identified that could account for such a transmission. Various explanations have been proposed, from reflections off space debris to emissions from a comet, but none fully account for all the signal's observed characteristics. The mystery deepens when considering that the signal appeared to come from an empty region of space, with no known stars or planets in the immediate vicinity. In the summer of 1518, the city of Strasbourg witnessed an event so bizarre that historical accounts seem almost too strange to believe. It began when a woman named Frau Trophäa stepped into the street and began dancing. She danced continuously, without music, without apparent reason, and without stopping. Within days, dozens of others had joined her. Within a week, the number had grown to around 400 people, all dancing with an intensity that defied explanation. They danced through the scorching summer heat. They danced until their feet bled. and some reportedly danced until they collapsed from exhaustion or heart failure. Local authorities, believing that more dancing might cure the affliction, hired musicians and built stages to encourage the phenomenon. Instead, the dancing only intensified. The outbreak lasted for months, affecting hundreds of residents across multiple communities in the region. Historical records from physicians, clergy, and city officials document the event in remarkable detail. Yet no satisfactory explanation has ever been found. Modern theories range from ergot poisoning, caused by a fungus that grows on grain and can produce hallucinations, to mass psychogenic illness, a form of collective hysteria. However, each proposed explanation has significant gaps.